Hey, you're Steve Morris Engines. I'm Steve Morris. This is an engine we just got done with, and we are dyno testing and tuning for Abel Narezo. And this is one of our LS based engines, single turbo. And I'm going to show you some things about this thing. First, we'll just start from the top down here. You can see this is one of our Sean's billet intake manifolds. They're a very nice piece, black anodized, and billet valve covers. Now that's all on top of our LS3 long block package. This is our 1000 to 1200 horsepower package. LS3 block, LS3 cylinder heads. Now we go through the cylinder head and do a little bit of cylinder head work, port work. And we do intake exhaust valves, springs, retainer keepers. We do our trunnion kit. So everything you see here in this complete engine is available right directly on the website. You want to buy it in a kit form, that's fine. You want to buy it individually parts, that's fine. You want us to have it build a complete engine, we'll do that too. Now the one thing that you will notice if you really pay attention, the majority of engine builders out there, they build an engine and bang, you're on your own. See you later. If you're lucky, some of those engine builders will put their engine on a dyno, make one or two hits and say, there you go man, dude, you gotta go sort it out yourself. Here at Steve Morris Engines, I've been spending all day on this thing doing a pump gas tune, trying to get the drive as best as possible, and then doing a race gas tune. And we always like to use as much of their stuff as possible, and that's what I'll go over everything here with you. So, like I said, this is our LS3 1000 1200 horsepower engine package long block. Upgrades are the Sean's billet intake manifold, which really is not only a excellent looking piece, but it really performs well. And I'll actually go over that with you here as we look at the dyno sheets. But now this also has Hooker's turbo system. Now you can see that crossover pipe. Now these crossover pipes, they do have these crossover pipes that go underneath the bell housing of Turbo 350, 4L80E, etc., etc. So there's 3 different pipes. Now I'm going to put this here just so you kind of get a reference on where it's at. So I'm begging you, do not call me up or do not private message me asking, does this fit my car? I have no idea if this fits your car. I don't have your car here. So please, I'll give you some measurements and you can get on my website and get the rest of the measurements. So you can see Hooker's header, cast iron header, very cool piece, and then they have 3 different crossover pipes that goes over to the other side. Now that all comes together, and they don't normally have, but we do ourselves. You see that single 76mm turbo. It's hard to see in here because it's kind of clustered up. Let me get down below. You can kind of see that little elbow right there. So we are making that elbow piece, and that elbow piece would look like this for the Hooker header turbo kit. You see there's the other side, comes across, goes into the headers. Now if you already have bought and all this, that's fine. You didn't buy this because I'm the only one that has this because we make it. And we can do it left or right side, T4 or T6. Look on our website and you can find out how much this is. Now, and it's a good piece. 304 stainless steel, ready to rock and roll. So, very nice, good packaging here. Now let me show you again. Give you a little reference of cylinder head to... I know the scale's upside down, sorry. But you kind of get a good reference of where it is, front of cylinder head to the front of turbo. Now, Abel is going to be running some form of a water air intercooler, so we just put on my big intercooler, and I'm not using ice or anything. We're just kind of trying to maintain somewhere around 100, 120, actually around 120 inlet air temperature. Pretty easy to do with our billet wheel turbo. Now this is our billet wheel, 76mm turbo, and nice piece. We have that available on the website too. And now I'll go over some stuff with the turbo with you. So anyways, this is on pump gas, and we have a C16 tune-up for it too. I'll show you that. The pump gas tune-up is really sweet. The race gas tune-up, actually we can eat up this turbo, and I'll talk to you just a little bit more about that when we do the dyno pulls. And let's see, what else we got here? So this clearly is you know, all of our rotating assembly, everything that goes on there. Now you can't. This has our stage 3 camshaft, and because it has a real good note to it. Just a little bit lopey. You can't really hear it in here because the exhaust is sealed up, so you really can't hear the lope to it. It has just a little bit of lope. Real nice piece, and honestly, this engine ends up being just a tick too good for that turbo. It will, if we put a bigger turbo on it, it would continue to make more and more horsepower. The engine is pretty good. Keep in mind, engines are air pumps. This is moving air. If this does not move as much air as what the engine can move, we run this air, or we run this over to the right side of the compressor map. Gets inefficient, won't keep up. That's basic. I'm not trying to get super technical on it. But anyways, let's go out. We will make a hit on the dyno. Actually, we'll make a couple hits. We'll do the pump gas tune-up for you, and then we'll do the race gas, and then we'll look at all the numbers. And then I'll talk to you a little bit about tune-up and about how and why we're running a little out of turbo, what makes the engine good, etc. Alright, as you can hear, the thing is like stone cold quiet, but it's, you know, turbo motor, and I have the exhaust system all sealed up. So let's take a look at some numbers here. Back up from the screen, and as you can see, oddly enough and coolly enough, our correction factor is way down today. Air's actually pretty good, and so anyways, makes 1200 horsepower exactly. Now we can see out here, it just starts to lay over out through here, so it really has this nice sweet spot right through here at like 57, 6,000 RPM, and then it kind of lays over. What we'll do is we'll look at the boost number here, and you can see the thing just drops right off. Now I'll show you through the EFI system. Now this has Holley EFI on it. We do a lot of stuff with the Holley EFI, clearly. I tune, I go to tracks, tune, I will fix people's problems. They'll bring it here and dyno to take care of issues, chassis dyno and or engine dyno. So let's take a look here, and we'll make this report. Fuel pressure, boost pressure. No, they're actually, they carried it over pretty good. It has been really leveling off, and will kind of go backwards as I rev it up even higher. You can see the trend right here is that it's going backwards from about 5,900, 5,800. Starts going backwards, and right through here it'll really lay over pretty hard. It's been running back down into 17, 16 pounds of boost. So now how we get to that is, so what we'll typically do is I'll come over here. Now this is on the C16 tune, and what we'll do is I'll show you that pump gas tune also. And let's go over here and look at the Holley. Now what we're doing is I'm using the Holley boost controller, and get down here real easy. See, whoops, sorry about that. Got to move the camera all around here so you can see something a little bit better. And again, I'm kind of on a pet peeve about this right now, because As an engine builder, I'm a little bit of a rarity in that I do everything from the building, designing, build, machining. So I design, build, machine, assemble, test, and tune, and will track tune the entire package. So we just don't build an engine and say, here you go, figure it out yourself. We don't just build the engine, put one hit on it, and or 2 hits on it and say, oh, yep, the thing runs, it's not leaking oil all over the place, so here you go, figure it out. We try to help you figure this thing out all the time. So how we also know that this thing is basically running out of turbo is that as I'm using the boost controller, which is right here, we can see that I'm throwing everything I got on top of the gate. It doesn't have a back pressure issue, which is fine. So it makes, if I had a bunch of time to show you and you wanted to watch it, we could show you that it makes the same amount of peak boost and makes the same boost. It just continues to lay over from 15 pounds to 20 pounds to 25 pounds, 30 pounds on top of the wastegate. So it's just playing out of turbo. So it's out of compressor is what it's out of. But we don't have a back pressure problem, so we know that is why that thing's out. We can also tell a little bit from the fuel consumption wise. I mean, it just kind of flattens out and gets real, it gets real, not real, lean's the wrong word. It just isn't using any more fuel up there, which is all normal. So anyways, if we kind of come back and we can take a look at some other numbers here. Let me get you the pump gas tune-up and get that here real quick. Bear with me and I'll hunt that thing up and we'll look at that number. Like I said, this is on C16. So in order to make that number, basically I'm using up the turbo as much as I can, and we'll throw timing at it because we're super safe with the fuel being with C16. So now we go back, and this is on 93 octane. And we can take a look at these numbers. Now we see that it still makes a nice broad flat curve on it, and we'll go look at the boost numbers here in a second. But 1031 at 6600 RPM. Now it makes a horsepower at a higher RPM because we're not on the right side of the map. We're not taxing the blower. We're not using up the using up the turbo when we're spinning it slower. So it makes a nicer, steadier graph. And if we look at our boost number, we'll see that here I can control the boost really nicely and make it increase or decrease on demand. But as soon as we start using up the turbo, i.e. a little too small a turbo for that good a engine, we can find that I can no longer control the boost. It just loses boost, and because it's losing airflow. But here you see it's really nice. I can make a really nice looking curve out of it, which is really nice, easy, safe for pump gas tune-up. We'll go back here. Torque wise, we're 836 at 6100 because we're still plowing some boost into it right here. So anyways, even down here at low boost where it's only like 9 pounds of boost at 3600, I mean, we're making 706 foot-pounds of torque. So it's a really nice broad flat piece, but for hydraulic roller like what that is, and I apologize, I didn't say that earlier. It's the hydraulic roller, our stage 3 hydraulic roller shelf camshaft that we have in this motor. And for a good street strip kind of combo, this thing's pretty sweet. 1031, 836, and we go back to our last run that we just made there, which is right here, and 1200 at 6100 and 1073 at 5700 RPM. All the way down here, we're at 814 foot-pounds torque. We should be pretty similar boost number right there at 3800. Well, it's a little bit up there. Starts taking timing out of it at that area just to keep things safe. But you can see at 4500, 876 torque, 747 horsepower, 5,000 or 913 horsepower. 5,500 we're at 1101, and 6,000 we're at 1198, 6,100 1200.04 horsepower. Then it starts leveling off and tapering off right up there. But anyways, I'm Steve Morris, Steve Morris Engines, and we are here to help you with any of your motor needs, any of your engine needs, including tuning, any kind of you got a problem or an issue you just can't get figured out. It's not cheap because it takes me a long time to set stuff up on a dyno. So far we have this will end up being 2 days from complete install to floor to floor basically. So install on the dyno to finish tuned to off the dyno. So sometimes we can get it done in a little bit quicker time, but at minimum this stuff always takes us at least one solid day to do. So anyways, I'm Steve Morris, Steve Morris Engines. Have a great day.